Hey everybody, it's Tanya here from Iraqi Coaching, here with your weekly planetary update for the week beginning Monday, the 27th of January. We just had the full moon in Aquarius. Oh, here I'm sitting on my bed, so everything's a little bit bouncy. I think I'm just embracing all the feminine energy which is coming up, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I just felt like staying comfy on my bed today. Yeah, so we had the full moon in Aquarius, and that has just, I think, kicked off a little bit of optimism. It's actually helping us to have a bit of perspective on things in our lives. It's that air energy. It's Aquarius can be a little bit detached and aloof from emotions. I'm saying that as someone as well who has Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Aquarius. So, look, not judging, just stating. It doesn't mean that there is no emotion there. It just means that you have that perspective and that clear head. So that's kind of what the moon has brought in for us. It's given us a bit of perspective on our lives and a clear head on what we want to bring in, and hopefully giving you some fresh ideas as to how you're going to bring all of that into your life. So in saying that, let's go take a look at where all the planets are for this week. So this is Monday. Now there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in Pisces in the start of the week. The moon is going to head into Pisces. So moon being very feminine, it's our emotional world. Pisces is a sign which is very intuitive, very spiritual, very go with the flow. It can be quite idealistic though, and prone to believing in illusions. And that's heightened by Neptune, its ruling planet, being here as well. So Venus, who represents feminine energy as well, and values and self-worth and abundance, like she's going to be coming up and meeting with Neptune. So Neptune's pull is just going to really strengthen Venus and strengthen what she wants and her ideals. We might feel a little bit more emotional. It is back to school this week here in Australia. So, there might be that sense of, all the feels might be coming up for you if you're sending your kids off to school, or they might be feeling a little bit more emotional and not really wanting to go. It's also bringing us this energy of just wanting to be, and it might feel really hard to get things done because with all this water energy, and especially the Neptune influence, we'll just want to go with the flow. We won't want to tick off the lists and get things done, and that can be pretty difficult if you're starting to pull together all that back to school stuff. So if you can, just write down your list and go through it, and just be really gentle with yourself, and not feel really not feel stressed out and that you have to get it all done in the timeline that you want, because all this Piscean energy will just be like, you'll get it done in the time that it takes. So just remember that. It's going to be a bit heightened too with Mars here in Sag. He'll be wanting to get the things done, but he's just not going to win. Let's face it, he's the pull with all of this go with the flow energy is stronger than Mars over here. So he might feel frustrated. So again, if you're getting back into a routine, you might feel frustrated that it's not really coming together in the way that you want it to. So again, just be really mindful about what you're doing and when you're doing it, and maybe give yourself a little burst and say, all right, in the next 2 hours, I'm just going to go for it and get everything done, and then I can relax. Try and create balance in some way, and allow both sides of yourself to live that out, because it's going to be this tension, I think, the whole week between Mars and Venus, the being, the doing, the masculine, the feminine. So there might be tension in relationships. There might be I think actually tensioning within yourself, with the balance that you have in your life. And again, it's the start of a school year, so a lot of people's routines are just really getting back into gear after the summer holidays here in Australia. So it is that thing of, all right, how do we get away from this holiday mode and actually start to get things done? If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you're in the middle of winter. So you might be feeling the frustration in a different way. You might be like, all right, wintertime, it's all about rest. And I know when I lived in London, like that winter can feel really freaking long. And you might just want this, you've got this pull and this desire for a bit of fire, and a bit of heat and a bit of get up and go as well. So you might start thinking about going on a holiday to warmer climates, or what it is you're going to start doing once the buds of spring start to appear. You know, when the sun hits Aries, and that's the equinox, the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, like that's a really perfect time for you to get going. So this energy this week might start to make you feel like, what is it that I'm going to do? This is Thursday. So by that stage, the moon has moved into Aries as well. So that's bringing a little bit more fire to our emotions. So yeah, just be really, really gentle with yourself and with people around you, because we're all feeling this push and pull. And we're all feeling it to different degrees. So if someone's been a little bit slower than you would like them, a little bit dreamier, try not to blow up at them, and vice versa. If there's somebody else in your life that you feel is, you know, wanting you to give a little bit more, again, just be really mindful of that and respond kindly, rather than allowing either of you to blow up in rage or emotion. So I think that's probably the biggest message this week, is just to maintain that balance within your being, doing self, your emotions, and your interactions with others. Like it's a time for us all to just reintegrate. By the weekend, the moon is going to be in Taurus, so we'll start to feel more grounded. If it's been back to school week for you, you know, it's like, all right, we did this, and we can start to really set ourselves down for this new routine. So just see this first week back as just an experiment, and you're just all getting used to the new way of being and doing. So, you know, the following week, it's going to be easier. The other interesting thing to note is that all of the energy at the moment, it's from Sag through to Taurus. So it's really heavy on this side of the zodiac. So all of these signs from Sagittarius through to Pisces, they're the end of the zodiac. So they're kind of the lessons, like our mastery of these things. It's all coming to a bit of a head, a bit of an end. And then these couple of signs with Aries and Taurus, like they're the beginning of the zodiac. So it's starting to have this push of, or this pull of what do we want, especially as the moon travels around. What do we want and what are we creating? So this is kind of the in-between time up until the full moon. So you know, things start to grow. Like if you're planting a garden, it's like you plant at the new moon and you harvest at the full moon type of thing. So it's just a matter of, we're planting this new routine in our lives, and then we'll see how it goes, and then we can tweak it, and then we start again, and it's on and on and on the cycle goes. I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop there. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend if you do have one here in Australia. I will be doing a full moon release workshop on the 7th of Feb at the Sacred Nest in Ascot Vale. If you're in Melbourne, come and join me. We will chat about what's going on in the sky, how it relates to you directly. I have your birth chart, so we can actually see like where it all fits in for you. And then we have some meditation and dance to release, which is really wonderful and beautiful and healing. So come along to that. Otherwise, there's only a few days left of my 20% off reading offer. So that ends on the 31st of January. So just use the code 2020 when you book in, and that way you'll be armed with all of the info that you need to find out where your peak times will be this year, when the challenges will arise, what the main themes are for you, etc., etc. So look into that, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.